The antidote will eventually become the poison. One thing that I learned on my journey in Peru was that my teacher told me every single thing that we are utilizing here as a medicine in an incorrect dosage would be a poison. And every single poison that he had found, there must be, he believes, some dose that is a medicine. And it's through finding that dose that we really find healing. So how does this apply to your life exactly? How this applies to your life is that what I've seen in my experience is that things that once served us will eventually, at some point, no longer serve us. I can apply this with cannabis. I can apply this with learning from YouTube videos. I can apply this with a course that I've taken. Eventually, there's a point where it no longer serves me to keep soaking this in, to keep smoking this, to keep, utilizing this as something that once helped me, but to still honor that it did once help me. Different people will have different reasons for ruminating and continuing in their processes of growth. A lot of people will find themselves on this trap in plant medicine, working with cannabis, working with ayahuasca, working with San Pedro, and continually going back weekly, sometimes more, sometimes slightly less, but consistently. And then we get into this idea called integration, where we go, well, I need to be integrating because there's so many things that I know now and has made me aware of. And if we're not taking action on them, then what happens is when we continue working with that same medicine or that same practice, it can eventually turn into a poison for us. Poison in the sense that it's a crutch. It doesn't mean it's poisoning you, doesn't mean it's bad for you in the sense that you're going to die from it. What I mean is that it poisons you and your ability to take forward motion. Because as a human being, we only have so much energy in our lives. Seriously, we only have so much energy. And every single thing that we ever do during the day, every single thing, maybe aside from sleeping or meditating, is requiring some energy from you. Even scrolling on your phone, everything is requiring some energy. Some things more. If we're reprogramming a pattern and we're learning something new, that might take more energy. But the point is, if we are doing certain practices just because we think that we're supposed to do them because it once served us to, well, we must always look at that and go, is this how I want to be spending my energy every single day? We can even apply this to sadhana practice. People that are spending 3 hours every single morning. This is something that is probably one of the most beautiful things that a human being can do. Doing a spiritual practice of meditating and breath work and yoga or whatever your sadhana is. Spending multiple hours in that flow is going to be beneficial for just about everybody. Just like cleaning up your diet is going to be beneficial for just about everybody. Then at a certain point, we go, well, is this how I want to live my life? Is me just being a vegan, is that how I want to live my life? Is me waking up at 4 a.m. every day, is that how I want to live my life? Because if the things that we are doing are not indicative of the life that we want to live, that's poison. That is a definition of poison. It's something we don't want. That's how a human defines medicine versus poison. This is helping me get what I want. This is helping me get into balance. And then once we're balanced, if we continually need the thing that brings us into balance, well, what the heck? What's the point of that? I just get out of balance every single time in my life, and then this thing brings me into balance? Well, how could I actually just be in balance permanently? Well, the way that we are in balance permanently is actually quite simple. If you just live the life you want to live, you're in balance. That's the fact. It's very simple. The only reason a human has any distortion whatsoever is because we're not living the life that we want to live. If our body is distorted, that's because we're not giving our body the foods that it needs to eat to thrive. Being a human is quite simple. So in these videos, what I always am doing is bringing a perspective through. And it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean that this applies to you. But it is something that applies to every single person on the planet. Because you must know that at some point there was something in your life that served you. And now there's something in my life that once served me that I no longer do, or I'm still doing it and it doesn't serve me anymore. And what do we do from that point forward? Well, first we become aware of it, probably still do it a bunch more times, and then eventually become sick of ourselves doing the thing that we really deep down don't feel like it is representative of the life that we want to live, that makes us enthusiastic to wake up and excited. And it can be as simple as, at one point, being super into meditation, studying spirituality like me, and doing plant medicine like me, and then making videos and talking. Oh, those are very different. They're pretty much polar opposite. I am now sharing what I have learned through all of my experiences. And from that place, I am feeling in my most excited place. And there's nothing in my life that feels stuck or stagnant. But guess what? At some point, I'm sure making these videos is no longer going to be in resonance with me, and it will then turn into a poison, and then I must continue on my journey. It doesn't mean that every single thing that you're ever going to do is going to turn into a poison. If you're a painter, if you love painting, that might not be applicable. But there's something somewhere. And whenever we are experiencing discomfort in our life, that is a sign. Whenever we are feeling disharmony or our body is out of balance, that is a sign that we are poisoning ourselves. We are doing something that is not indicative of the life that we want to live. Hope this video was helpful for you. If you'd like to learn more about what I do, you can click the link in the description or the bio, and I'd love to hop on a call with you and help dissect and, just help you on your journey. That's my highest joy. See you in the next video.